he's real. Who's real? The ghost. Who's the ghost? Master Vigilante. But he's super. Mind if I come in? Impressive. Those windows, along with everything else in this building, have been built to withstand the blast of full nuclear explosion. Sorry about that. Do you want me to call a glacier? You know it's against my personal code to cause or never-lasting injury to any person. Ah! However, mild to moderate injuries is acceptable. He seems nice. Merry Christmas, everyone! Hello, and welcome to my review of Doctor Who, The Return of Dr. Mysterio, the 2016 Doctor Who Christmas special, and the only episode of Doctor Who in 2016, excluding the Doctor's appearance in the first episode of Class, of course, and also Friend from the Future, which was shown in April, which is the few-minute, I think it's 2 or 3 minute long, short minisode where we got introduced to Bill, and by the looks of the Series 10 trailer, I think part of that is going to be in one of the episodes, even though there's been people saying it's not. So without further ado, the return of Dr. Mysterio. Okay, the Doctor Who Christmas specials haven't had a very good reputation, especially over the past couple of years. But I can safely say that this Christmas special, is infinitely the best one since the Christmas Invasion, the very first one back in 2005, excluding the Feast of Stephen from 1965. Peter Capaldi is once again on top form as the 12th Doctor, and the Doctor is actually acting like the Doctor again. After, I'm not sure what the character was doing over Series 8 and 9. I think with Series 8 they were trying to make him a bit darker, not unlike Colin Baker's Doctor when he first started out, but maybe not as rude. And then Series 9, they turned him into a bit more fun, Dr. Disco, one more approachable, but still has that hint of darkness. And now, he's kind of got a bit of the darkness still around, but he's acting a bit more like the caring Doctor. Even though this is the 12th Doctor, he's a bit different to 10 and 11 and all the others. But he kind of is acting like the Doctor. And that's brilliant. And as I said, Peter Capaldi gives a fantastic performance as ever. I still don't know if he's better than Christopher Eccleston or the other way around, or they're still pretty much joint best actors to play the Doctor. But yeah, he's still brilliant. He's really fantastic, and yeah, there's not much you can say apart from that. Surprisingly, Nardole, played by Matt Lucas, wasn't that bad. Actually, it wasn't bad at all. I didn't really think he was that bad of a character in The Husbands of River Song, the last Christmas special, but lots of people didn't like him. But I don't think they hated him in the episode. It was when he was announced as a regular character or companion in the TARDIS that people got their knots in a twist, got really, really angry and upset that this character was coming back. And as a full-time or part-time companion. And to be honest, like Clark, I wasn't that enthusiastic of seeing Nardole as a companion or a regular. But this episode, he's actually pretty good. We don't really see him that much either, to be honest. We're mostly focusing on the Doctor, on the Ghost, and Grant, and Lucy, and the villains. But when Nardole's there, he's actually quite good. And he's pretty good. He's a bit funny. He is funny, but he isn't annoying Some people might find some scenes with him annoying, like when he's in the flat, but most people will probably find him okay, like I did, and he actually helped out. And there is a reason for him being alive after Husband's River Song, where he got his head chopped off and put into a robot. There's a reason why he's now got his body back and is now an actual full-time companion. The Doctor dug his head out of Hydrovax's suit and glued it, according to him, onto his body again. And it was because he was feeling lonely after the 24 years he spent on Beryllium with River Song before she would later go off to the library and meet the 10th Doctor there and later die. As seen in Silence of the Library and Forest of the Dead. Presumably along the way and probably meeting other Doctors in the Big Finish audio adventures. So pretty much the Doctor brought Nardole along with him because he was lonely after the last time he spent with us. So, yeah, the Doctor spent the 24 years on Beryllium with River Song, between the Husbands of River Song and the return of Dr. Mysterio, and he brought Nardole along because he was feeling lonely. And yeah, that's a pretty good reason. It feels less contrived than the excuse for Commander Strax in The Snowmen being alive in that episode after he was, and actually was, killed in A Good Man Goes to War. He was stabbed or shot by a headless monk and died in that, but then in The Snowmen, he's alive. You see him as part of the Paternoster gang, as Vasser's butler, and he helps the Doctor and Vaster and Jenny out. So, how was he alive in that? Well, apparently he was brought back by River Song. Not by name. The Doctor says he died trying to save a friend. Clara asks, so why is he still alive? And the Doctor then goes, because another friend brought him back. Yeah, so that was a bit of a contrived reason. So, the reason for Nardole being in this Christmas special is not as contrived as Strax in The Snowmen, or after. And that was a very contrived reason, and wasn't exactly backed that well. Nardole in this one, actually, they did back it up with the emotional story the Doctor has. With Nardole, they did back up the point with the Doctor being a bit emotional after the events of the last Christmas special, or at least the time passing between. And so Nardole is there to ease him through the pain. Grant / the Ghost is a very, very brilliant representation of superhero fans and later the superheroes themselves and their secret identities that you see in the comic books and later in the films and TV series. So, because I really like superhero films, personally I think this is a great representation of that, especially of the Superman character with the glasses and secret identity, and he's got a reporter as his love interest, and he has to keep going back and forth between being the secret identity and the superhero, as well as having all these powers and saving people. Speaking of the love interest, Lucy, she's good, and gets into a bit of trouble. So yeah, the Lois Lane character of the story. And surprising twist to this one, she has a baby, Jennifer. Apparently Grant's best friend married her, but ran off with another woman when he found out Lucy was having a baby. And Grant's become the nanny to Jennifer, and to be honest, probably will be her stepfather if we can expect something to happen. After this, they'll probably marry. They're definitely in a relationship after the event, because she's found out about his secret identity, so yeah, they're probably now in a relationship, and maybe even will probably marry. He has had a thing for her, and she a thing for him. The villains, and the villains are... Actually, this story actually is... For me, I found the stuff with the Doctor and the superhero the more interesting bit. I know not so many people enjoy the superhero stuff or the relationship stuff, but personally I thought that was better. I thought they focused a bit more on that then with the story, and it was a bit better. The villains, they're good. They're actually pretty good. I think they're actually the one of those races from the last Christmas special, The Husbands of the Song. So it's that species where it had the lines down their face, and they opened half their head to reveal space that they can put stuff. In one of them's case, in this episode, a gun. So I can't remember the name at the moment. I do know it, but I can't remember it at the moment. I'll put it down below. And with the ending, of course, it looks like they're going to be coming back. So, who knows, they could be a recurring villain in Series 10 or in the next Christmas special. And what they did was, they took people and they took out and they removed their brains and put new ones in, and I guess that's what the creatures are. It's pretty clever. Even the Doctor says it's a clever plan. Why don't we ever get those plans, he asks. Yeah, the acting's pretty good. However, despite having a great plan and being pretty good, they're not the greatest villains. One of them is pretty much a very James Bond superhero villain. And the other is pretty much the same. They are quite threatening though, but they're not the strongest villains. I think one of the weaker elements the Christmas specials have done for the last couple of years are the villains. I don't know, for quite a while. At least for the Moffat ones. Well, at least for the 12th Doctor ones, there haven't been that much great villains of the Christmas special. I think the best 12th Doctor Christmas special villains are the Cathari, aka the Cream Crabs, in Last Christmas, which is the weakest 12th Doctor Christmas special, at least for me. I think some people might prefer it over Husbands, but personally I think Last Christmas is the weakest. So really we've gotten stronger 12th Doctor Christmas specials, in my opinion, as we go along, which is a bit of a difference to 10 and 11s. None of the other Doctors got any Christmas specials. Apart from the first, but that was just one of these episodes. So, characters are pretty good. The sets and visuals look impressive, really impressive. You believe it looks like New York. And, yeah. And also the spaceship is a pretty cool design, and the interior is pretty good. It's, well, for the small purpose it got. I like the idea of having it crash into New York as a massive bomb, and that is part of the plan. So because that meant the leaders of the world could come to the company for safety, but in doing so they'd have their brains removed and replaced with the aliens. So, yeah, this is a really, really good story. And, yeah, it's just brilliant. When you watch it, you just find it really enjoyable. But then again, I found The Husbands of the Song really enjoyable when I first watched it. But with this one, I'm more confident that when I rewatch it, I will continue to like it as much, or maybe just a little bit less, or maybe a bit more, than when I rewatched The Husbands of the Song, which I think is good, but not great, like I did last year when I first saw it. So with this one, this could go either way. But more likely to go up than down, or at least more than the other ones did. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the first rewatch, or the one after, or a few others afterwards. It could be one several years away, like Voyage of the Damned. I watched that earlier this year, and I actually liked it a bit more than I used to before. So we'll see. So yeah, this is a really fantastic episode, and I'm going to give Doctor Who: The Return of Dr. Mysterio 9 out of 10. Perfect, but it's really enjoyable, and yeah, it's really fun. It does have the odd Moffat Christmas special cliches at points. I can't remember at the moment. people who are complaining he's got a lot of Christmas in his Christmas specials, here's one. The cliche is that he has a lot of Christmas in his Christmas specials. They'll be glad to know there's only a little bit of Christmas in this one. And it's mostly at the start with the younger aunt. But aside from that, it's more of a tone down, I suppose. Right, that's all from me, and I've done a very long Series 10 first viewing reaction, so I'm actually going to make that a separate video. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hi guys, Nick here, a little bit later for when the review and the trailer reaction was made, and I've got my ranking list of Doctor Who Christmas specials in order, of least favourite to favourite. So let's go. Number 12, The Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe, 2011, starring Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. Number 11, The Snowmen, 2012, starring Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. Number 10, Last Christmas, 2014, starring Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor. Number 9, Voyage of the Damned, starring David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, from 2007. Number 8, 2009's The End of Time Part 1, starring David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. Number 7, The Time of the Doctor, starring Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi as the 11th and 12th Doctors, from 2013. Number 6, A Christmas Carol from 2010, starring Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. Number 5, The Husbands of River Song, starring Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor, from 2015. Number 4, 2008's The Next Doctor, starring David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, and David Morrissey as Jackson Lake, aka the Other Doctor, as he was mentioned in Radio Times. Number 3, The Runaway Bride, 2006, starring David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. Number 2, The Return of Dr. Mysterio, this episode, from 2016, starring Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor. And number 1, The Christmas Invasion, 2005, starring David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. Honourable mentions go to The Feast of Stephen, aka The Daleks' Master Plan, episode 7, starring William Hartnell as the 1st Doctor, and shown in 1965, with the Dalek Master Plan being 1965 to 1966, but this one being the last one of 1965. K9 and Company, A Girl's Best Friend, 1981, starring Elizabeth Sladen as Sarah Jane Smith, and John Leeson as the voice of K9. This isn't exactly a Doctor Who Christmas special, this is the pilot episode of K9 and Company, the spin-off series that only had this pilot episode. It didn't get off the ground after this, so it's kind of also a Christmassy episode as well, as it takes place a few days beforehand, and it's kind of a Christmas special in its own right, but it's mainly just the pilot, like the TV movie. It was for the unmade American revival of Doctor Who, or the pilot episode that they made before they decided to remake it, and that remake is now the first episode of An Unearthly Child. And finally, The End of Time Part 2, which stars David Tennant and Matt Smith as the 10th and 11th Doctors, and shown on the 1st of January 2010, which it's technically a New Year's special, but it's the second part of a two-parter that began with Part 1, which was shown on the 25th of December 2009. So yeah, that was my list, and yeah, with a bit of luck, the 2017 Christmas special will be even better. Also, don't judge the hat. Don't judge the hat. What's wrong with a bit of colour? Found a yellow one yesterday. But he still didn't answer one question. Doctor Who? Dr. Mysterio. So that means all the leaders of the world will go to the company. Bastard.